Liar, Liar, Apples on Fire by Monochromatic. There's no delicate way to ask this. It was a summer afternoon when Rarity decided to ask Applejack her question. They'd been back from Rainbow Falls for about 5 days now, and while at first she decided the matter wasn't worth pursuing, the fact that she was still caught up on it 5 days later meant she was better off just addressing it. It being the fact that Applejack somehow knew that Rarity had 5 identical bejeweled barrettes sitting in her private jewelry box that wasn't to be touched by any pony save for Rarity. Period. Because of the delicacy of the matter, she decided it should happen naturally, nonchalantly, if you will, as though it wasn't a big deal. Which it wasn't because they were friends, so there had to be a decent explanation for why Applejack of all ponies had gone snooping through Rarity's things without consent. Luckily for her, they were all having a lovely picnic that day, so she simply had to pull Applejack to the side when every pony was busy. The opportunity arrived halfway through the picnic. Fluttershy, Pinky and Spike were by the nearby river, entertained by looking at the fish. Rainbow and Twilight were sitting ways away, reading a daring-do book under the shade of a tree. From what Rarity could hear, they were fervently discussing something they kept calling headcanons, which made Rarity hesitate on approving of Sweetie reading said books. Cannons being shot at a pony's head did not sound like appropriate reading for a gentle, sweet filly like her little sister. Regardless, "Applejack, darling," Rarity said nonchalantly, treating herself to one of the apple fritters her friend had brought. "I have a question for you." "A question?" Applejack sat up straight, fixing her whole attention on Rarity. This was one of the little things Rarity appreciated about her. She always made Rarity feel heard. "Shoot, Sugar Cube." "What's about something you said during the traders' exchange?" She ate another fritter, despite herself. This was one of the little things Rarity didn't appreciate about Applejack. She made sinful treats so damn good. "I was a bit unclear on it." Applejack frowned. "What I say?" Rarity took one last fritter, she swore. It was a good excuse to think over her next words, for they were as delicate as she was. "Applejack," she said, "did you break into my house and snoop in private things?" Sometimes delicate things required sledgehammers. Applejack nearly choked on the drink she'd started. "What? Well, did I do what now?" She was flabbergasted, yes, which could mean she was innocent, but it could also mean she was guilty. And she certainly looked the part, still sputtering in shock, her eyes wide in shock. Well, well, it seemed Rarity was skilled at these headcanons too. "What in the question did I say at the exchange that made you think that?" she asked, so completely guilty she didn't even react with anger. "Ha ha! The barrette you gave me." Rarity crossed her hoofs together, which might imply she was being serious, but really she was trying to stop herself to another fritter. "You said you gave it to me because you know I have 5 identical ones, but I keep those secured in my locked jewelry box, so..." She grabbed the fritter and pointed it towards her friend accusingly. For the dramatic effect of it, eating it too was for effect. "How did you know I have 5 identical ones, pray tell?" Applejack did not reply verbally. No, she did something far worse. She laughed in the face of her crimes. The gall! "Sweet little lassie, you actually had me worried there. Thought I'd somehow done something criminal without even knowing it," she said, visibly relaxing. Amused even. "I didn't go snooping through your things, Rarity. I've just been seeing you wearing at some fancy royal events what I've been having." "Oh," Rarity exclaimed. That made sense. Wait, no, it didn't. "Now hold on a moment. Wait," she continued. "That doesn't explain how you knew I have 5 of them. They're identical." Applejack remained unperturbed. "No, they ain't." She grabbed one of her fritters and ate it up before continuing. "One of them has a little nick on the one side. Another has a loose fastener because it hangs a bit. The other has a slight different shade of purple than the rest. The fourth has a gem a little crooked, and the fifth is perfect. She winked. Just like you, Sugar Cube. Rarity giggled, charmed. Well, I concede. I didn't realize you were so observant, she said. She grinned, teasing. Too observant, one might say. What do you spend all the gala staring at me? Course not, said Applejack, which Rarity would have otherwise believed if it wasn't for the unusual stammer and the even more unusual blush her friend suddenly had. Oh ho ho! Are you sure, darling? Rarity purred, leaning in ever so slightly. It's perfectly all right if you are. She offered a dazzling grin. I'm quite nice to look at, I think. I'm not staring at you all day, darn it, Applejack protested, her fluster betraying her. My. Granted, she could stop what was clearly teasing, but why? It was harmless fun, no? Especially when she hadn't even said anything yet, and already Applejack was saying, I wasn't. So you're just observant then, are you? Rarity asked with the same innocence with which she grabbed another fritter. She then inched closer, her smile gentle, innocent, and not at all teasing. You just simply happened to notice little minute details that you couldn't really notice unless you were looking at me a lot. I do, Applejack protested, and my, her ears flicking down, her eyes flittering back and forth. A liar she was not. Do you? I do. I just, I'm interested in jewelry and them things. I don't like wearing them often, but I can appreciate them just like any other mare, she said with a firm nod. Rarity personally thought she should be awarded some sort of prize for not immediately bowling over choking with laughter. Really? She asked instead. Polite. Again, the firm nod. Oh, yup. Rarity looked at Applejack. Teaser to TZ. She could offer mercy. She could. But was it not a core aspect of their relationships that neither wanted to receive or give mercy to the other? Rainbow Dash, Rarity said. Applejack frowned. Rainbow Dash? What's she got to do with any of this? She was wearing her element of loyalty the other day at Pinkie Pie's party because she insists on being a braggart about it, Rarity elaborated. She paused. Just a second. The jewel on it. She leaned in another inch. What is it shaped like? Applejack snorted. That's easy and you know it. Rarity tilted her head. Is it? She purred. What is it then? Illuminate me, Applejack, dearest. Applejack gave her hardest stare she'd ever given, then broke into a smile. Flying by me? It's a cloud. There. Rarity stared at her. Applejack stared back. Rarity grinned, and it was so sinful that 10 generations of Apple family ancestors were probably redder than their famous apples. Oh, Applejack, darling. Lightning bolt, Applejack blurted out, desperate. Rarity leaned back, giggling. Too late, my dear. Applejack's shoulders slumped. Oh, horse feathers. Out of 50-50 shot on a blow. Defeated, she swallowed her pride and confessed. I just think you have a nice complexion, that's it. She looked like she was dying, and Rarity was never happier to be a murderer. You're nice to look at, there's nothing more to it. Finally, Rarity smiled genuinely. I am. She bowed her head. I'm glad you think so too, dear. If I may say, I feel the same. She reached out and booped her friend's nose. Your freckles are exceedingly charming. Oh, well, shucks, thanks, Applejack replied, a little pleased though still embarrassed. Rarity fluttered her eyelashes. I hope you also know I will be holding this over your head for the rest of our lives. Applejack laughed, endeared. Well, Rarity, you wouldn't be you if you didn't. Author's note. 2023 Mono. Look, we're doing freelance, okay? We're trying to make a living off horse and original works. We need to take commissions to keep this going. And not all of them can be raretoire. It's what it is. C'est la vie. 2020
More
Mono.
signals incoming.
Man, that pandemic really will mess me up, huh? 2023 Mono. No, listen. This is good. It's variety. I'm learning so much. Practicing different dynamics. 2018
Deploying
Mono.
sentry gun.
Twidash?
Sentry almost ready.
Rarishai? Rarijack? Rari Twidash? Actually, that's fine. But the rest? What happened to you, man? It was
Sentry
us against
activated.
everyone else. 2023 Mono.
Come on, team.
I literally posted like 10k of bodyguard AUs that was raretoire. 2015 Mono, tearfully cocking a ray gun.
Ugh,
Sorry, but you've gone too far. 2023
Here's your
Mono.
sample.
Listen!
I have multiple signals.
That's right, folks. If you commission a fanfic from me, you too can get me to, probably, write ships that aren't raretoire. Check out my commission form here. If you'd like to read updates of ongoing stories faster, as well as read my original stories and MLP stuff I don't plan on posting here, feel free to visit me at my personal website. Writing is my full-time job now, so
Don't get too
if you like
comfy,
my
okay?
works and are liking my output, please consider tipping me or subscribing on Ko-fi, so I can continue writing so much. Every little bit helps. Thank
Take
you
a
for
breather.
reading.
Watch that stress, squad.
Tango, straight ahead.
We here at Pony&Wolf Productions thank these amazing patrons of ours for their monthly support, without which all of this would not be possible. We sincerely appreciate it, and every dollar helps, is needed, and will be used to keep us going to produce audiobooks for your continued enjoyment. It is, now more than ever, important that you support your favorite creators if possible, due to YouTube changing in a way that is not very friendly to content creators. Especially small content creators, like us. In recent months, the names you see on screen have enabled Midnight and Visual Pony to keep going and only having to sell off part of their belongings to not end up on the street. As an incentive for everyone, Visual Pony has broken a vow and has promised to read and record Fallout Equestria, Murky number 7, should the monthly support reach $1,500. To be clear, this is the absolute minimum amount needed to keep the apartment and all bills paid without starving, while a production of this size is ongoing. The estimated time for this production would be 3 to 4 years, but people already said that Project Horizons was impossible to do, right? And now look who did it, so with Pony&Wolf, you know we can finish the job. For further information on how to support us, please have a look at the description of this video, as there are also other ways, like our merch store. Sincerely and forever yours, your Pony&Wolf team.